And today, looking at all the stories making headlines, we are asking you, are you comfortable that your personal data is in fact safe online following the latest hacking incident at insurance company Liberty? Are you comfortable that your personal data is safe following that hack? So do let us know what your views are at Morning Live SABC, and we will of course share some of your views later on in the show. And we move now and we take a look at some of the trending topics, and here are some of the trending topics, but we'll come back to that. We'll start with the stories of the day that you can of course look forward to in the news cycle today. A private members bill to be brought before Parliament by Freedom Front Plus leader Peter Groenewald, and it pertains to the issuing of fines to firearm owners whose licenses have expired. Also, look out for the story that we'll be following, and that's about the allegations of abuse and mistreatment of patients that have surfaced at Bethesda Hospice in George in the Southern Cape. ANC Deputy President David Mabuza will be launching the Chris Hani Volunteer Program at Komani in the Eastern Cape. And we also look at the latest developments at financial services provider Liberty after it had been hacked over the weekend. So those are some of the stories to look forward to today. And looking at what's happening on Twitter, some of the stories that have caught the imagination and people are talking about Liberty, their hashtag Liberty at the top, and that pertains to our question of the day as well. Do tell us, after that hack, how secure are you about the safety of your information online? And then, of course, the World Cup in Russia, World Cup 2018. What a feast it has been over this weekend. Some surprises there. Biggest, I think, Germany coming up short against Mexico yesterday, and I'm sure Valen will tell us more about that. And then it was Father's Day, and staying with football, and someone on Twitter used the football analogy to describe Father's Day, saying that it kind of feels like the Confederations Cup, whereas Mother's Day is the real deal. It is the World Cup, and I have to agree with that. And then hashtag Gauteng land reform and expropriation of land without compensation. Testing of Section 25 of the Constitution in its current form is what that's about, and we'll be speaking to the Premier of Gauteng, David Makura, about that later on in the show. And of course, hashtag Brazil, they drew, no surprise to me, maybe to some, but of course we'll see how they fare still in that World Cup. And as I said, Valen, I'm sure, bumper-packed edition of sport reports to come your way still. And that's what's trending, and do let us know throughout the show what your views are, and especially with regard to your information online. And feel free to elaborate and not just tell us whether you feel safe or not, but tell us why you don't feel safe. We'll appreciate that as well at Morning Live SABC. But